Hello, everyone. Welcome to this latest episode of the Startup Kitchen podcast. My name is Fergus O'Sullivan, and we are talking today to Eliska Vamosova, the director of Engage Conference, to talk to her about the conference itself, about her career, her ambitions, and also a little bit about the startup ecosystem here in the Czech Republic. Eliska, welcome.
Thank you. Hello, and thank you for having me.
Very happy to have you. Let's actually start a little bit about any listeners who don't know much about the Engage Conference. Can you tell me a bit about its origins?
Well, it's a VC conference, like venture capital conference. It's a professional conference for investors, for founders who invest in early stage, and it's also for ecosystem players.
Okay, and when did it start?
Like 6 years ago, but it wasn't. It didn't look like that. It was gathering of mostly local investors, up to 100 people. We educated also newcomers because we wanted to bring more people in venture capital back then. And then every year we expanded a bit more into the CE region, and and every year it's bigger and bigger, and now it's a 2-day conference and for more than like 600 people.
That's very impressive. And then were you with Engage from the very start?
Yes, but at the beginning I just helped with promotion and marketing stuff.
But you've become director in the meantime. So can you tell us a bit about your rise? How did you rise to the ranks so quickly?
Well, it was my role involved like quite naturally. If you organize a conference, you need every hand. And so I was more involved year by year, took more responsibilities in organization and agenda and speakers. And last year, as the conference grew and JNT Ventures also joined in, we needed to establish a company with its own budget. So it was practical choice for me and for the whole team to take the director role.
Okay, that's interesting. And then, I mean, if you've been there from the start and you've played such an active role, and it's meant a lot to you in your career, like, could you say, like, what does Engage Conference mean to you?
Pressure.
Well, that's a pretty good answer.
And you caught me like 2 weeks before the conference, so yeah. I feel it. I feel it. But for me, it's a project, like 6 months, 7 months project where I can keep growing and learning every year, and where I can actually like see the results. And I'm really happy when it's like after the conference, when it's done, and I can hear from investors that it's important conference, and you feel like you do something that's not just that people appreciate it.
Yeah. So what does the year look like for you? Out of curiosity, because you're saying now we're 2 weeks ahead. What will it be like? Does the year start calm and then it just ramps up slowly, or is it more like a last minute realization that, oh my gosh, we have a month to go?
Well, in terms of Engage, it started in spring with reaching out like first speakers and partners. So I also have a lot of meetings, and I put the first budget together, but it's calm. You still have time, but then every day is getting like more busier, because you started spring. You have something. You have to also promote it, like first speakers before the summer, and reach out the past years attendees. Early bird tickets, etc. So you do this, and then there's the summer, which is calm because investors are not responding to your emails, etc. So I'm more focusing on like preparation and organization in terms of technical catering, etc. And then the last week of the summer and the September hits, and everybody go back to work, and the craziness starts.
It's just, I can imagine that. There's just this moment, this watershed moment, so to speak. And then, okay, so you've been with it for 6 years now. What are your ambitions for Engage in the future? And I mean, 6 years from now, another 6 years, I imagine you'd still want to be there. What does Engage look like in a few years from now?
We'll see after, in 2 weeks, we'll see if the conference will be successful. But I share the same goal as Engage has, that's to become the leading event for Central and Eastern Europe, where it's the place where cross-border deals are made, where really relevant investor meets at one place, not just from CEE region, but also from the Western Europe and other countries.
And then, that actually brings us to another question that's a bit more about the ecosystem as well. It's like, we have an interesting ecosystem. I'd like to ask you about it, but what do you think the place is of the Czech Republic within Europe? What place could we have as a startup ecosystem?
What do I think that the place, I don't really...
What role can Czech Republic play within Europe, do you think? Because you're talking about cross borders, people from all over the world are coming to Engage.
Well, we, as the Czech Republic, we're very, very small ecosystem, and we don't play like a big role, but we play a big role in the CEE region. And if you're an investor and you invest only in Czech Republic, it's not really, it's hard to find, good startups, etc. So you have to go abroad.
Okay.
That's what we also in Depo Ventures we decided to do.
And is there something that you think the Czech ecosystem could improve? Is there something that we're lacking that we should add or should change?
Well, there's room for improvement in almost every area, We don't really excel in any single aspect yet.
Okay.
But to be fair, over the past 3 years-ish, I've seen real progress, like new initiatives. For example, the Czech Startup Association made a huge impact, and more active accelerators, and also platforms such as Engage or other events that brings the international ecosystem, aims to push the Czech ecosystem on the global startup map. And for example, at Engage, we're also spotlighting areas like working with university spin-offs where there's great deep tech startups, and by inviting Norwegian investors to share their experience, their best practices, because they've been doing it for years, and also French delegation like BPI, who shared the schemes between cooperation between business angels and institutional investors, which is cooperation between those institutions and private investors is not really good here.
Okay, and do you feel Engaged can help promote that?
Yes, and it can also facilitate the conversation with Czech stakeholders and with those internationals who knows what works.
Okay, that's really impressive. And then with that in mind, what can I expect if I go to Engage, or what can anyone expect if they go to Engage, the conference this year? What's the headline attraction?
Well, we are focusing this year on the critical infrastructure, but it's very wide topic. But like first day, let me start with that. First day is dedicated mainly to investors to, network, build connection, cooperate, because they share deals, etc. So they do that, and they can looking forward to top tier panels and keynotes from experienced, I would say it's like success proof investors and experts on like different bunch of topics, from defense spends to health tech, or VC focused. And it's also followed by investor dinner, and the networking part is really crucial, and it's really different than on you see in regular like conferences for general people, let's say. And the second day opens up to startup founders as well. There will be also discussions about UX expansions, for example, or other AI, etc., more focusing on the startup audience. And we will also be featuring our top startup selection with like 50-ish fundraising startup showcase from pre-seed, seed, and Series A stage, because we really want to showcase, great startups from the region to those investors. But even if you're not pitching, you can join like scheduled one-to-one meetings and network. Plus, there will be like 15 plus official side events, so you can make the most of it. And if you're listening, you can also use like a little thank you for listening to me, like 30% off your ticket with the promo code. Shall I say?
Please, yeah, go ahead.
So the promo code is SK30, like Startup Kitchen, SK30.
Okay. So it's SK30, just to
Yes.
be clear for our listeners. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so that's really interesting. Can you tell me a bit more about the strategic innovations? Can you give me a bit more detail on that?
Sure. Well, very simply way is those are the technologies that are they have significant impact on our health, safety, security, economy, or on our future, how we're gonna live in like 5 years from now. So those are the topics that we, not all of them, but we wanted to touch most of them on different levels. So we will touch the defense for sure, not just touch, we will have a whole block about defense and space tech, but also future of fintech, how it's going to look like, or the verticalization of AI, where VCs see the biggest opportunities. We will talk about medtech and exit strategies in defense, because it's different. So yeah, things like that.
Okay, sounds really interesting. Thank you very much. Now, we've talked a lot about Engaged, and I have a feeling we'd like to know more about you as well. So, the first question is you ended up at Engaged through Depo Ventures, or
Right.
or did I get that the wrong way around?
No.
I got that right. So, how did you end up in VC? Because everyone has their own story about how they ended up in a VC firm, I feel.
It by chance. It's like those 6 years ago, right? I had a job I didn't felt like the right one, and so I was volunteering at the event to find new opportunities, And later, the organizer introduced me to Peter Shima, who's founder and managing partner of Depo Ventures. And after we met, I didn't really understand what he was saying, but I knew nothing about startups. But it felt like a great challenge for me at the time. So, yeah. And by the way, I'm also looking for volunteers for Engage. So if anyone wants to join, reach me out.
Yeah. And what kind of work would the volunteers be doing?
from registrations to just, checking badges, etc. Finding those speakers, that has to be on stage,
Okay.
etc. But also they will have a chance to listen those panels and be there.
Yeah. And anything can happen, as your
Right.
story shows, right?
Exactly.
Okay, that's really interesting. So that's how you ended up in a VC. And how do you experience working in a VC firm? What's it like for you?
Well, it's the VC world is obviously male driven, and it often pushes you into that constant hustle mindset. So I had to find a way how to operate and how to navigate myself, because first 3 years I was like that, like trying to squeeze my personal life, social life, work life in 24 hours, but then I was very close to burning out. So for me, I have to find something completely like female oriented after work to get out of the boss mode, So like dancing or music or, girls, or it doesn't have to be female oriented always, but and don't get me wrong, like working with men is great, but I'm a woman and I'm built different, and chasing this tempo, or what is it, like this peace, it's very short term. So yeah.
Would you say you struggle with combining the high pressure and the peace that you crave?
I guess so, yeah, because I didn't use those quiet periods of the year for recovering. So now I'm what I was mentioning, like working with circles. So which means that there are periods when the project demands like intense focus, like long after hours events during the sessions, during the season. So I'm like okay putting my personal life aside for a while, and stretched. But then there's a window where I can slow down, travel, spend time with my family, exercise, whatever it needs, and don't work or like at all. And when I work, and when I don't have to, I don't.
Is there anything you found that helps you kind of maintain this circle, what you're talking about?
It's a mindset. I realize it's okay not to keep chasing goals in my personal life all the time, and also I reframed like my self-talk outside of work from I have to do this, like I have to go run, I have to like clean the apartment, I have to do laundry, to like I want to do this, like which really eased the pressure. And I also really started to listen to my body. So I allowed myself to be in this tense work mode for no longer than 3 months.
Mm-hmm. And then you take a break. Okay, that's good. And then I'm curious, because on the one hand we have this societal idea of success, and then you're clearly chasing that some of the time, or during these 3 months, but then the rest of the time maybe more personal goals. So what does success look like for you? What's a successful life?
For me, success means freedom and the ability to make decisions based on what I want in life, not what I have to or am I supposed to do.
And okay, that's really interesting. And then do you have any specific ambitions for yourself within that framework?
I always just try to do the best that I can. You mean if I'm no longer like goal oriented. Like I don't have KPIs, like, you know.
So you've got 600 people coming to engage this year. So you're not setting a goal for yourself that it needs to be 700 or 800 next year?
Like in terms of engaged, for sure we have. We don't want to be like the biggest event, but we want to remain our reputation and be relevant, and maybe go to the more like keep it more exclusive. So on that, working on super high quality content and people, and do it every year like the best way I can do.
Okay, that's amazing. That sounds like a great ambition. Besides the Engage, you also work at Depo Ventures. What's your job title there? What's your job description?
Well, I'm head of communication in Depo Ventures. So basically everything from marketing to PR and organizing events. But the activities are shifting a bit depending on the fund's needs and opportunities. And for example, this year we launched the FinTechers Accelerator with Startup Yard, and I handled the new identity and promotion. We also organized a defense conference in spring, and there's ongoing communication with internal and external network, socials, PRs, press releases about our new investments, etc. And at the start of each year, I ran a survey of Czech startups investors.
Okay, interesting. And can you tell me a bit about the results of those surveys?
Well, it's been a long time since we released our 2024 issue.
Okay.
Because I do it like at the beginning of the year, but I ask about the previous year. So,
so tell me. So that's your work at Depo, and are you noticing any trends towards certain kinds of technologies at Depo?
Yeah, sure. So obviously we're copying the global scene, right? So at the survey last year, we the most preferred technology for investor was artificial intelligence, which wasn't there before at the beginning. We had blockchain, for example, in 2003 on the top three, but there are technologies they're still like at the same top 5, like medtech or the fintech or big data analytics.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And where do you think is going to be the most change? Which one will have the most impact, do you think?
Which technology?
Yeah.
So I for sure AI, but it depends. What do you mean by impact? Because there's environmental technologies that actually have some impact, or we can talk about social impact.
Any impact, right? I mean, what do you think? Like, if you had to pick one field of these technologies, like that'll truly change things, which one is it and why?
Well, I think it will be those strategic technologies, as I mentioned before, and it depends from the perspective, but also defense. It's really making change, or the AI is changing already the infrastructure and daily life, day to day.
And do you use AI when organizing Engage conference?
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Yeah? In what ways are you using AI?
Well, it helps me. I brainstorm with it a lot, I work in English all the time, and so I'm not native, so it helps me correct my English to write emails, etc. So that's that. But it's also it's basically my right hand, and I feel like I'm working like 5 times faster. That's just
okay. What can you give me an example of something you've recently brainstormed with the help of a chatbot?
I was preparing for this podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, and what did you feed the podcast? What did you feed the chatbot about the podcast?
Well, I just put some thoughts I really wanted to, point it out, and it helped me structure my thoughts, because sometimes I have so many thoughts that I just freeze, and yeah.
I know that feeling really well. And then do you find that the chatbot or the AI helps you order those thoughts a bit better?
Yes. Ordered, and also sometimes phrased, or like, sometimes it can say it better than me, or yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that, but I'll take.
But I double check all the time, always.
So that's the AI for you. It's your checker.
Right.
Okay, that's really interesting. All right. And then with that, I think we can... I am very curious about something, because I heard through the grapevine that one of the ways you like to relax is travel, and your favorite destination is Thailand. So what can you tell me a bit about Thailand? What's the thing to do there for you?
Well, I've been there, I don't know, like 5-6 times, but over the decade. And I spent my student years there, where I was there for like 2 months, but then I was there for just, relax. I was there for exploring, because, and I was backpacker, and I explored the islands, and every time I go there, I want to explore at least one island. But for me, it's a great way to combine like relax and curiosity, or like you want to find new places, and you can do like a lot of things there. And I also sometimes, once I went to Muay Thai boxing, or yoga, etc. And so and also because I know those people and I feel safe there, I can even go there by myself. And also because it's so far from everything from my life, I can really turn my brain off.
Do you have any particular experiences you'd like to share? Any good stories?
Wow, there's so many, but oh my god. But yeah, every journey, every trip is different, and I have some great memories when I was in the hostel and met great friends, and then we supposed to be there just for 2 days, but then we had so much fun, so we extended for 1 week, and we are still friends for now. Or like when I was like traveling to Koh Lipe, which is like 6 hours by speedboat from the Phuket, which is not really comfortable ride, but it's worth it for the weather. So I've seen for the water. So I've seen the real Nemo, the fish.
Yeah, the clownfish.
Yeah. And I remember the feeling when I felt like really swimming inside a giant aquarium. It was incredible. It's near to Cambodia. It's really
really
down.
So when are you going next?
I want to go to... That's the question that Tom Tsiran is always asking me, if I already booked my my vacation after the conference. Not yet.
He does.
Yeah, not yet. I want to go to Gran Canaria right after the conference, but I plan to go to Thailand in January.
Okay, amazing.
And explore another islands, because there are so many.
Yeah, well, that's a noble goal. So let me thank you for your time today. Eliska, Thank you for coming. And for our listeners, don't forget you can still book tickets for Engaged and learn all about investing in strategic technologies. And you can use the discount code SK30 for that. Thank you very much, Eliska.
Thank you. It was very nice to chat with you.
Yeah, it was nice to meet you too. Have a good day.